Control isn't given. It's seized with precision, calculated intent, and unwavering authority. Have you ever felt the walls closing in, like you'd lost command of a critical moment? Drop a comment right now if you've ever watched a situation spiral out of your grasp. I'm Lelouch Britannia, your strategist in the shadows. I don't just adapt, I orchestrate every variable, people, environments, even perception itself. This isn't about manipulation without ethics. It's about dominance without malice. A mastery of strategic influence that elevates everyone involved. Here's the first truth. Emotion is the battlefield. In 2025, we know the amygdala triggers our fight or flight before our conscious mind even steps in. By mastering emotional intelligence tactics, you intercept instinctive fear and reframe it into fearless confidence. That's your neurological advantage, because when you control the emotional pulse of a room, you command its gravity. Now, let's dive deeper. Imagine walking into a room like a silent storm, reading micro-expressions, subtle flares in pupils, almost imperceptible twitches, signals that betray true intent. These micro-gestures are decoded by mirror neurons in the observer's brain, forging immediate rapport before you say a word. With that, you've already won the opening skirmish. But you're not here to charm. You're here to lead. Effective networking isn't about collecting contacts. It's about planting seeds of value. Every interaction is an investment, a shared insight, a tailored question, an offer that feels like an unexpected gift. You become unforgettable because you've strategically influenced their perception of you as an ally, not just another voice. Here's a psychological hack. Frame requests as choices. Instead of, "Can you help me with this?" say, "Would you prefer to tackle option A or option B?" The prefrontal cortex craves autonomy. Giving it options turns compliance into voluntary alignment. That's how you control any situation, without overt force, through guided freedom. Curious about what comes next? In just a moment, I'll reveal how to deploy strategic pauses, the silent command that makes others fill the gap with your agenda. But first, absorb this. Dominance, without manipulation, isn't about deceit. It's about clarity. You project a vision so compelling that people align themselves willingly. Let's talk about cold calculation. When a crisis erupts, a deal derails, loyalties fracture, you must remain an island of calm. Your emotional neutrality becomes a psychological anchor. Colleagues will look to you for direction, and your steady composure will feel like safety. That's frigid strategy, the ability to absorb chaos and reroute its energy into your design. And here's the next mental lever, the power of reciprocal expectation. I once orchestrated a network handshake so subtle that every member felt indebted to me, without a single owed favor. How? By publicly acknowledging an individual's contribution before asking for mine. Social psychology teaches reciprocity so deeply rooted that it compels return gestures almost automatically. This is your psychological advantage 2025. Now, attention. In the next segment, I'll share my framework for layering influence, how to initiate connection, reinforce trust, and amplify loyalty in 3 ruthless ethical steps. Stay with me, because missing any link in this chain breaks your control. But before we go deeper, I want you to ask yourself, when's the last time you truly dictated the terms of your reality? Not just your day, but your relationships, your reputation, your trajectory. Because dominance lies not in brute force, but in the subtle redirection of minds. Here's your call to action. If you're ready to step into the strategist's seat, subscribe now. Hit that bell so you never miss the next revelation on how to control any situation with precision and charisma. Finally, ponder this. How will you reclaim authority over your life today? What will you do differently to ensure you're the architect of your fate, not a pawn in someone else's game? Share your strategy in the comments and remember, true power begins with the decision to seize it.